Hi friends, my name is Phoebe. I'm on a music discovery journey and I would like to invite you along for the ride. We are listening to artists, old, new and everything in between. I am listening to artists that I have heard of but just never had the time to check out. I'm also listening to artists that I have never heard of but they have come highly recommended from somewhere or another. And I want to share those with you. My reason for starting this channel was to hold myself accountable, listen to more music and share my good finds. And in turn, I invite you to share some of your good finds with me too. Max Kenny boosted this one via Ko-fi. Thank you, Max, for supporting the stream. This really helps me do this more often. And it's a request for Ren and Molly McKinna. I think I've heard this recommended a few times. I think I had this on my list, but it was just quite far down. It's called Penitence. I don't know if this is going to be a happy one, a sad one. Are we going to get emotional? Who knows? I do have tissues nearby just in case. Let's see what we've got. It's 4 minutes 25. I also have lyrics. Let me just make sure they're up. Okay. Let's go. We might listen to it once all the way through.
Lately, I think I was over time in my chest, beating slower like the clouds, the color of them fading out, fading out. The heavy heart I carried went over your head and over mine.
Oh my God. Beautiful. We're going to listen to it once all the way through, and then break it down. Oh my God.
I counted the days she left like a prisoner, etching markings on my skin with an old knife, scratching. You see, I wanted the physical to match the psychological, and yet no matter how hard I dug, I still could not match that pain. I longed for reasons, I sung with demons, I sat in a dark dusty room, barely moving, breathing. I chewed through my own umbilical cord attached to her navel. I wanted to be separate.
Wow.
I think my mind is leaking. Solitude is so depleting.
I did it to myself. I know that you are faithful. I did it for my health. How come I'm still unstable? I'm falling far from hell. The suicidal angel who's lost my wings and fell, falling so ungraceful, vanished into hell.
I wish that I could stop crying. They say that the body is 70% water. I feel like I must have reduced mine by a considerable fraction. Newton's third theory states that for every action there must be an equal and opposite counter-reaction. And so I retrace my steps and try to find reasons in the arms of my demons, cause I can't find healing if I can't find meaning in conundrum. Leaning on my dom-nom, feelings how the news high, beaming when I hung from ceilings when I run from demons that are living in my head and escape fate and disapparate, evaporate, evacuate and then activate fate. But it cut the brakes, now I'm driving my universe into a lake and away. Weight of the world, don't wait, we make mistakes when it's all a state. For goodness sake, a double take, but I don't want to eat that cake. I ruminate inside meaning to illuminate a dark mind. I communicate without speaking, and I've seen so much I went blind. I live in a lie with the lion inside, living a lie with the lion inside of my mind. It's hungry for my sanity, my sanity. I live in a lie with the lion inside. I live in a lie with a lion inside of my mind that is hungry and I don't know why. Pressure drop, deep breath, time stops. A broken, etc. Dot dot dot. Pressure drop, pressure drop, pressure drop. I feel it consuming, I can't stop. Dot the dot, the lines join the dots and I'm tying knots. Then divide and multiply, square the root of pi, beat the puzzle. I try to keep my mind focused on the line. Hopscotch and pop rocks, I take shots of teardrops. When I drop a pill pop, I find peace and time stops.
Oh my God. Wow. That was something. That was so deep. There's a lot from that. This is interesting. Okay. This is so... There's so much... Okay, let's go back to the start. I really loved how that sounded. It started off very kind of peaceful with the piano, but then it felt the frustrations with Ren's vocals. There felt like a lot of frustration in there. Molly's voice is very familiar. I think I've heard some of her material somewhere, but I cannot for the life of me remember titles or how it goes or anything like that right now. But if not, what a beautiful vocalist. Really compliments Ren's vocals as well. There's a lot of thought-provoking things in there. There's a lot of despair. I did it to myself. Okay, let's have a look again.
Lately, I think I was over time in my chest, beating slower like the clouds, the color of them fading out, fading out.
See how that feels like very almost dreamlike. Lately I think I was overdone with time in my chest beating slower, time feeling like it's passing slowly, the clouds, sea colour of them fading out. It's not good having something that's faded of colour. Fading out is repeated. The heavy heart I carried went over your head and over mine. What does that mean? Like, with a heavy heart, that's the sadness, that's it's definitely not a good connotation from that. But went over your head and over mine, it's almost like it wasn't taken seriously, or... And then we get to Ren, who says regret as the first, or is that Molly that says that? The visuals are really interesting too. They're kind of strange, abstract almost. We've got the rose, someone walking along the rooftops, almost like carefree, half a face, suggesting someone's not whole, and then someone drifting through this space, whatever that is. I'm not quite sure. dreamlike. It feels. Just super interesting. I think they're meant to make you think and be slightly weird at the same time. Like, they're not kind of very obvious meanings, which I think is obviously purposefully done.
And
Her vocals are beautiful. Someone's been crying. You can see the trickle there of the tear. It's incredibly sad. I'm surprised I haven't cried. That's okay though. I don't have to. I don't want to force it. But it does sound incredibly sad.
I counted the days she left like a prisoner, etching markings on my skin with an old knife, scratching. You see, I wanted the physical to match the psychological, and yet no matter how hard I dug, I still could not match that pain. I longed for reasons, I sung with demons, I sat in a dark, dusty room, barely moving, breathing. I chewed through my own umbilical cord attached to her navel. I wanted to be separate.
That's very powerful, that. Chewed through my own umbilical cord attached to her navel. It's almost like she was taking care of him, mothering. We know, or I don't always want to state the obvious, but I'd imagine most of us are familiar with an umbilical cord that attaches the mother to the child. And it's saying he chewed through it, wanted to be separate, wanted to break away. There's the background regret, forget, repeated. I counted the days she left like a prisoner. See, so it says counted the days she left, but it also says I chewed through my own umbilical cord attached to her navel. So there was a connection, at least, but it also says she left. I wonder if she left first and then he couldn't let go or wanted to let go, and there was a final separation through this choice of chewing through the metaphorical umbilical cord. I'm not sure. But I counted the days she left like a prisoner, etching markings on my skin with an old knife, scratching. That's very visual. That's quite powerful. It's quite almost like a desperation of kind of feeling. Etching markings, tally marks, like a prisoner counting off days. It's quite bleak. You see, I wanted the physical to match the psychological. Perhaps saying she left could mean the day she checked out, the day she mentally wasn't there with me. Maybe that kind of leaving. Sorry, I just hit the microphone there in my excitement. I wonder if that's what that means. Because then it says, no matter how hard I dug, I still could not match the pain. Oh, actually, scratching on his own skin, form of self-harm, punishment. He's saying no matter how hard I dug physically with the knife, I could not match the pain, the psychological pain. That makes a lot more sense. My apologies. Although I'm kind of showing my train of thought, so hope that helps. I longed for reasons. I sung with demons. I sat in a dark, dusty room, barely moving. It's this being. It is. If she's left, he's alone. He's wanting to know why. saying a song with demons. It's surrounded by demons, sitting in a dark, dusty room, barely moving or breathing. That's kind of quite states the obvious, basically. I chewed through my own umbilical cord attached to her navel. I wanted to be separate. Yeah, that is quite powerful, but I wonder if he's referring to an earlier instance of doing that, wanting to be separate. I'm not sure. I think my mind is leaking. Solitude is so depleting. Being alone can make you feel such despair, losing your own self. Interesting.
Cord attached to her navel. I wanted to be separate. I think my mind is leaking. Solitude is so depleting.
I'm not sure what the symbolism. I'm not sure what the symbolism is of this ink in the water. In terms of sensory or visuals, it looks quite satisfying, but I think there's more to it than that. But I'm not sure if it's symbolism.
Solitude is so depleting.
I did it to myself. I know that you are faithful. I did it for my health. How come I'm still unstable?
So is she saying, I've done this to myself? This is bad, but I've done this. I know you are faithful, so that's not a reason to leave. But I did it for my health. The relationship wasn't good for her. She left for her health, but apparently it hasn't helped because it says, how come I'm still unstable?
How come I'm still unstable and falling far from hell? A suicidal angel who's lost my wings and fell, falling so ungraceful, banished into hell.
It seems like someone is falling apart. That seems what that visual is there. I wonder if the drops of ink are like drops in the ocean, but it's showing. It's probably not. It's showing how much that darkness is taking over, even though it's one drop at a time, it seems, or a splash at a time. It is taking over. Even things that are a drop in the ocean, we say it because it's like, oh, that's nothing. But actually showing there that it really is, it all adds up. That could be a completely far-fetched thing, and it probably is. But sometimes I have to say what I'm thinking just in case. There have been times where I've thought something and never said it, and then later realised I was right. This one doesn't feel like that to me. How come I'm still unstable then? And fallen far from help, a suicidal angel, exhaust my wings and fell, falling so ungraceful, banished into hell. That's really, really sad. Falling far from help in such a dark time that there's no help. Suicidal angel, someone that means well but has gone too far. Yeah, I'm not sure on that. Banished into hell, cursed, maybe cursed.
Peaceful, banished into hell.
I wish that I could stop crying. They say that the body is 70% water. I feel like I must have reduced mine by a considerable fraction. Newton's third theory states that for every action there must be an equal and opposite counter-reaction. And so I retrace my steps and try to find reasons in the arms of my demons, cause I can't find healing if I can't find meaning. A conundrum, leaning on my dom-nom, feelings how the news high, beaming when I hung from, ceilings when I run from, demons that are living in my head and the
Well, there's so much to unpack there, so we'll go through that next bit again. But I wish that I could stop crying. They say that the body is 70% water. I feel like must have reduced mine by a considerable fraction. Crying depletes your water. You have to hydrate to replenish, and I guess it's showing that it's been in a dark place. Newton's third theory states that for every action there must be an equal opposite counter-reaction. So he's stating something that is quite commonly known, I would say. Newton's theory, he's saying he's retraced his steps to find reasons, just trying to find meaning for things or understanding things. Why did they happen? Retracing your steps is a way of trying to figure out what went wrong, perhaps. In the arms of my demons, it's the demons are close by. I can't find healing if I can't find meaning. So many of us need answers to explain things, to be able to heal and move on if that's a possibility. And so that kind of makes a lot of sense.
Steps and try to find reasons in the arms of my demons, cause I can't find healing if I can't find meaning. A conundrum, leaning on my dom-nom, feelings how the news high, beaming when I hung from, ceilings when I run from, demons that are living in my head and escape. Fate and disapparate, evaporate, evacuate and then activate. Fate, but it cut the brakes. Now I'm driving my universe into a lake and away. Weight of the world, don't wait. We make mistakes when it's all a stake. For goodness sake, a double take, but I don't want to eat that cake.
Again, a lot to unpack, but I can't find healing if I can't find meaning. A conundrum, leaning on my dumb feelings. Just like this conundrum, this puzzling thing that I'm really affected by because my emotions are all over the place. My feelings are deep. Calling them dumb, numb feelings, because that's how we might feel that they are. When I have a noose high beaming, is it just on a high beam, a noose around your neck? When I hung from ceilings, just feeling that desperation even more. When I run from demons that are living in my head, again quite self-explanatory. And escape, fate and disapparate, running from them, wanting to disappear. Evaporate, evacuate, basically again kind of similar words, getting away from. And then activate, fate, but it cut the brakes. So for whatever reason we've been stopped in our tracks. Now I'm driving my universe into a lake. It's kind of this destructive feeling of despair. Again, wanting to just drive into a lake and end it all. The weight of the world, don't wait. Things happen to us and we don't get to choose when. God, that's such a good line. That's such a good line. The weight of the world don't wait. We just, there's never a right or wrong time. Fate doesn't care. It just happens when it happens, and we can't prepare most of the time for things like this. Well, that was powerful. We make mistakes when it's all at stake. Yeah, we're human. We struggle. Sometimes we react in ways that are irrational just because of what's going on, what is at stake, and what we might lose and what could happen. For goodness sakes, a double take. But I don't want to eat that cake. Maybe making mistakes. I don't want to do that. Or eat that cake. Is that in terms of unfaithfulness? Just reiterating, that's not him.
When it's all a stake, for goodness sake, a double take. But I don't want to eat that cake. I ruminate inside meaning to illuminate a dark mind. I communicate without speaking, and I've seen so much I went blind-eyed. Why? I live in a lie with the lion inside. Living a lie with the lion inside of my mind. It's hungry for my sanity, my sanity. I live in a lie with the lion inside. Living a lie with the lion inside of my mind. It's hungry and I don't know why.
That was really interesting with the mirror, and then the guy's head disappeared. Again, it feels a lot of emptiness feelings. I'm not sure. The double take, but I don't want to eat that cake. I wonder if it's the double take of looking at somebody, and like I was saying before, maybe not wanting to be unfaithful. Might not be, but naturally we can look at things and find things attractive. Doesn't mean we act on it or be unfaithful. Could be that, it might not be that. I ruminate inside meaning to illuminate a dark mind. Again, I think about and dwell on thoughts, meanings, to bring light to the darkness. I communicate without speaking, thinking, doing things that don't involve voice. I've seen so much I went blind-eyed. That's an interesting line. Seen too much. It's all too much. I'm living a lie. Maybe you've seen too much. It's opened your eyes to reality. Living a lie with the lion inside, kind of this fierce demon inside our heads, maybe, or lion, courageous. Doesn't feel as courageous as I would think. It feels more like a fierce being. I guess he's comparing his mind to a lion, because then it says, my mind, it's hungry for my sanity. Living a lie with a lion inside. Yeah. My mind is hungry and I don't know why. Pressure drop.
I live in a lie with the lion inside of my mind. It's hungry and I don't know why. Pressure drop, deep breath, time stops. A broken, etc. ... Pressure drop, pressure drop, pressure drop. I feel it consuming. I can't stop. ... The lines join the dots and I'm tying knots. Then divide and multiply. Square the root of pi. Beat the puzzle. I try to keep my mind focused on the line. Hopscotch and pop rocks. I take shots of teardrops. When I drop a pill pop, I find peace and time stops.
And that's it. The visuals are really, really cool and very thought-provoking. You know, if I don't quite understand them, it's art, isn't it? I love how there is so much that can be interpreted by that alone, without the audio and the lyrics. Just fantastic piece of film. There's a lot of despair feeling though, for sure. Pressure drop, deep breath, time stops. are broken, etc. ... I feel it consuming, I can't stop ... The lines join the dots, and I'm tying knots. Again, it's this frustration. It's taking over. This darkness is taking over. It's consuming. I'm tying knots. I did this to myself in the background. Divide and multiply. Square the root of pi. Beat the puzzle. It's this whole thing of trying to crack the code, trying to understand, trying to make sense of something that we don't really or can't really make sense of. It's not all adding up. Try to keep my mind focused on the line. Hopscotch and pop rocks. I take shots of teardrops. I know he's talking about crying, but I'm not too sure about that. When I drop a pill pop, I find peace and time stops. Is that just taking a pill, taking medicine, or taking some sort of medicine at least? That it might not fix things, but it calms, settles. Not sure. That was really, really interesting. It was really nice to listen to, and yeah, it's definitely thought-provoking. I'm gonna have to have a look and research a bit more on that, on what other people have made sense of, because I would love to hear interpretations of that and maybe watch a reaction to that. That was from 4 years ago. I really like delving into all of Ren's library. Same with all the artists that I'm looking at the moment. I don't just want to hear new stuff. I don't just want to hear old stuff as well. I want to hear everything and see the evolution of these artists, what they've done and what they've been through. So there's a lot more to come with Ren, and Molly her voice is stunning. So yeah, I'd like to hear more of her stuff too. All right, that's a good half an hour of me yapping. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Max, thank you for the recommendation as well. And thank you to anyone who recommended that one. I will see you for the next one soon. Take care. See you soon, hopefully. Bye-bye.